clear. She's going to be happy to skirmish around some of those first few objectives. You have the Rise for extra mobility to engage into those fights. And you have his ability to root, right? And you have the Braum.
Yeah, of the LCK is Rascal and Summit going to be fighting. Q's not going to quite land, but it doesn't seem to matter. The Summit is just going to be smacking Rascal down. Continues to have complete control as Fate taking a bit of damage. Croco in the area, as you can see.
Does not have all sixes. This
oh
is
no, Summit finds Rascal backing. Puts down the mist, but it isn't going to save him. The Heartbreaker comes in. There's the Ignite, and that is a very dead Gwen. First blood going to Summit, and it is a solo kill against the solo killer.
Exactly. Then you pop it. Yep. I don't hate it, actually, into this matchup.
Well, there's the Zenith Blade for
There we
Effort.
go.
Equalizer goes down. BDD immediately flashes. LIIV does the same, but he's still dead. That's the reset. The arrow connects onto the Rumble, and Ruler will be able to help pick that one up. Kick back onto Fate as well as now Ruler using that Frost shot and will be able to take down the Aurelia. He looks to try and turn it, but it's just not going to quite be enough at this stage of the game. Later on, the Aurelia probably wins that, but right now, not so lucky.
Yeah, it's a 2-for-2 trade in the mid lane that just didn't need to be that way.
It's going to be a 5v5. Summit, he puts down his miss. That's a decent unbreakable, but BDD is in so much trouble. Fate picks up the kill on the Braum, and there goes the Rise as well. And now GEN.G, he's trying to get out of there. Summit's getting so many resets here as he stuns up Rascal. The mist is actually going to be useful this time around, and LIIV SANDBOX, they'll be able to grab themselves the Rift Herald and continue this snowball rolling down the hill.
It's safe.
Yeah, no, Gwen is real dead. They walk over Vision, but I just don't think it's going to mean anything as Rascal's already half health before the fight's even really begun. Gets stunned up, Croco grabs the kill. He has to flash, so at least there's that, but Rascal really getting some direst treatment here towards the top side of the map.
They're going to trade this back on the bottom side a little bit, but obviously this is going to be a better trade for LIIV SANDBOX. And even at this stage, you could see that Prince is willing to just go, ooh, he hits the Chains of Corruption.
Yeah, is going to land, but Prince not going to be able to fight BDD outside of turret range.
Effort's here. Just a little bit mistimed there.
In these fights, they're so happy.
Look at how LIIV SANDBOX is using this Rift Herald to guarantee insane prio for this Drake fight. Like, this is the one way, like you said, where GEN.G make their stand, the one place where they can maybe win that team fight and hope to come back. But when you have this much vision control, Equalizer until he gets really close.
Yeah, this minion wave does crash on that turret. You can see that GEN.G don't care about that. They just want to deny this Drake. Effort down to 50% as Fate and Summit, both of them coming in for this flank. Arrow will connect. Effort goes golden though as the Equalizer's decent. Chains of Corruption are even better as now it's just GEN.G just by himself, but he does manage to safeguard out. And GEN.G find themselves a decent position now. Equalizer now on cooldown. Chains of Corruption and the stopwatch and solar flare no longer there for LIIV SANDBOX, but the flash forward from Fate, the Vanguard's there, GEN.G are melting before their eyes. That double kill was basically instant, and now Croco fighting against Rascal, and unfortunately Gwen not quite immune enough as Summit is looking for GEN.G. Does land a cute little Q there, and does bring them out of the way so they get at least Ruler out to safety.
Well, does he get the execute here? I don't think so.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, wow. That's
Nicely
actually
done.
crazy. But, I mean, small victories, I suppose, if you're GEN.G, because you're still going to lose your jungler late into this fight. You've lost the third Drake. That was such a beautifully executed fight for LIIV SANDBOX because you take and...
Yeah, and also when you get that pick, likely you'll be doing it on top of an Equalizer as well, and Croco's positioning has been fantastic. That's the mini stun into the wall. Effort once again just eats all of the aggro, and the rest of LIIV SANDBOX dive on top. The Braum dies, the arrow is stopwatched by Fate really beautifully, and that should give LIIV SANDBOX this Baron as they've taken down the jungler. And Rascal, he's on the bottom side of the map. He's not going to be able to help with this one at all. And LIIV SANDBOX just aren't making any mistakes.
Yeah, they really aren't. They've taken this game. You know, they have complete control over the map. They're basically just using these advantages and pushing them super hard, and their comp excels at that. When you have a Viego Aurelia, it's just really easy to push the envelope super hard and punish GEN.G if they try to step 1 foot across the line. And you set the line deep into their jungle, right? Like, there's just not much you can do as GEN.G. It's a very oppressive composition. Rascal is making headway over here. He's going to get some of this extra gold. And that's like one small bonus that they get here. Ruler's going to get this turret, but the Baron buff is, especially because it's going
to... Effort there was a little bit silly, of course, but once again, Effort plays it beautifully. Gets the 2-man. Solar Flare is now live. Might just be dead. There's no turret here. Solar Flare just for the stun. Stand beside me is going to be there, but You're going to have to stand beside him in the death chamber as Summit's going to pick up yet another one. 3-0-4 now for the Viego.
Bit of a better priority for this Drake. Like, they cannot even walk towards it. It's already at half health before they can even look to reset. So Gen.G just ignore it and just go, well, I guess we might as well go home and reset. Like, on one hand,
he does have his Edge of Night, so he's not going to get arrowed or anything in the front line as Ruler. Just going to clear out these minions as he moves on down.
Look at the damage, it's insane.
Oh my goodness.
Rascal on the flank, they know he's there. He's got to get out of there.
They do have some control vision in here, so Rascal unseen for the moment. GEN.G, he can get that amazing kick potentially, but not anymore because he just took way too much damage. Oh no, he doesn't have a stopwatch as well, if we remember correctly, as now Rascal's in trouble, has to dash away to the rest of his team. There's another solar flare as it just comes back off cooldown. The Braum is going to die immediately. The Gwen is going to follow suit as BDD is now actually starting to do some damage, but he wants to be able to use his ult to get out, and he's not going to be able to. Croco takes a bit there as now Fate looks to try and catch up. Vanguard's Edge taxis over to Ruler, in this game is now over. LIIV SANDBOX tidy it up, that's the ace. Fate picks up the last kill, and they'll just run down the mid lane and finish this one off.
I know Korean Jace is a bit of a guilty pleasure for League of Legends fans, you know, all across the world. You know, it's definitely something people like to enjoy, but Korean Irelia is one of my favorites. And this is just one of those champions who put it in the right hands of a top player, even Fate in this case, kind of a middle-of-the-pack player this season, and he's just going to carry with it. I thought Summit had the best performance out of all these players, though, for LIIV SANDBOX. He's my POG. This was a one-sided game.
Oh, yeah.
And that is going to be the Nexus falling here, Atlas. Very much a snowball rolling down the hill.
LIIV SANDBOX looking fantastic as they do take down the Nexus. That is the most valuable 50 gold, and it did.
Prio that the Kalista is often going to get you. It's not as harsh as we've seen in some other matchups against the Varus, but you have a lot of control there. This game looks, once again, like Gen.G, how often she's been open, and also Effort's first time on the Nautilus this season.
That is crazy as he's flashing forward already. Ruler has to flash out, but they're still going for this. The Ren's going to be there, and Prince and Effort 2v2 kill them as soon as they hit 2.
Yeah, Effort's like, this wasn't... Fate just has ultimate control here, is able to verify that GEN.G is nowhere nearby. And GEN.G, you know, Olaf in the past has always been one of the champions you feel like if you have Prio in a lane, you could start the Drake, but because Gen.G's draft doesn't allow that, he can't do anything. It's actually just... And he is playing a very long con game up here.
Yeah.
Fate has teleport, though, so this could end up going badly. Let's see if the bait works out.
Yeah, Rascal going to start off the fight here as immediately Summit's actually going to get that Ignite down. GEN.G moves on past, but Summit's still at full health. That's another solo kill in the works, but the flash out does come through. Some more snipping as there's the Realm Warp. The teleport will come forward as now immediately Croco will dive on top of GEN.G. That is going to be a one-man shockwave as over goes GEN.G yet again as Effort will turn up late to this fight. Another Undertow's going to connect as Effort going to come through. That's one kill for the Nautilus. Gets another stun as BDD. He is 100% dead unless the flash does come through, and it does. Fate not going to be able to follow as his flash he deemed a little bit too valuable.
BDD a little bit nervous. They have so much poke.
Looks like SANDBOX still want to try and come through and potentially fight for this. This is really risky as Ruler keeps himself out of vision. Does have the ultimate available, as that's a great engage onto Croco, but he does have the ultimate available. Rascal gets a lot of value with the Q, as it is Shelly getting involved as well. 3 members of LIIV SANDBOX trying to run away right now. Chains of Corruption are on cooldown, but it looks like LIIV SANDBOX will realize that 4 versus 5 wasn't going to get it for them, and GEN.G will pick up rotation up.
Yeah, Ruler down a level here. Don't want to be tussling with that. Kalista through the brush. Ooh, the flank teleport.
Yeah, immediately Ragnarok used early teleport to come forward here as Summit. Trying to escape from this one. Doesn't have flash, remember. Wants to get that dash back available as the needlework is just insane. Okay, Summit is very, very close to living here, but actually avoids a Ruler in a bit of trouble. This leeching Leer is just nutty, as the last auto will be enough to do it, but just some Gwen things occurring here on the map.
It's crazy. When she has that item, she is just so insanely survivable. And it's like, nuts. I mean, this should not she's able to accomplish. And yes, she dies for this, but she's able to give LIIV SANDBOX a true 2 Drake advantage, which is massive because the next one, of course, ends up being a soul point for them. There's going to be a Cloud Soul, so not as impactful this game. No rumbles in the building this time around.
No, not this time.
But it's crazy what he can do just by...
Move himself down here. Croco in position. The Rise is picking up the wave, though. It's Prince and Effort They can get in there. Of course, Effort can be pretty aggressive with Fate's Call now available.
There's not a great teleport ward except the one that's very far left here, so they're just going to walk in instead, Summit and Fate.
Yeah. And Rascal, great position, as it's probably going to be a 50-50 as Prince Glen's Flash gets himself out of there. There's the Fate's Call as the Gwens dove on in. Croco trying to get into position, has to smite early, but he is going to be taken down by GEN.G. He gets himself the smite as the Shockwave lands onto one. His Effort does have that stopwatch. They do take down the Olaf, but GEN.G denies Soul Point.
Yeah, we're going to see the Rise teleport top here to push this wave with the extra man advantage they have on the map right now. So this is going to be more than just a
large flank angle as Prince is going to come through. They don't find the knock-up, or at least the first one, onto the Croc, but he's still very dead. Prince is going to grab that kill as well.
Effort's like, oh, you guys made me use my ult? Okay.
No
over
realm
here
walk to get back this time, though, so it does mean that GEN.G will get this inner turret.
Yeah, that's actually pretty massive. They are not able to
Put around and poke, but I think GEN.G really wants to do that, right? As now another fight is going to break out, another very early Ragnarok. As Summit doesn't have the mist available. Is going to be in that Dragon Pit, but it looks like LIIV SANDBOX will be able to back away. Piercing Arrow just not quite doing the damage that you expect from this Varus.
This is such a hard fight for GEN.G to engage in on without, you know, any sort of really awesome ultimate to set this up. I mean, the Shockwave, this positioning is good.
That is going to be stolen by Ruler of all people.
Wow.
There's going to be the Shockwave as in goes the Rakan as well. Great knock up from Effort though, as immediately the Crocodile's in trouble, but the Gore Drinker is just disgusting. Prince trying to kite this one out, but it's just not going to be enough, and that is a huge fight for GEN.G.
Massive.
And they turn this whole game on its head.
Oh, they absolutely do. This is a real moment for GEN.G to absolutely take control over everything, because now they could take this lead and then go straight to the Baron Pit and clean this up. And even though GEN.G Ragnaroked early in that fight, they were able to just win that war of attrition because Renekton is so fed. The Gore Drinker value you mentioned is huge here.
He went to full health. That was absurd.
It was actually crazy. No matter how many times you nerf this item, nerf the healing, it's on the Renekton too, it's just like, well, he's going to be totally fine. As you watch this too, like, the positioning of Ruler is kind of awkward. Like, he's caught between a rock and a hard place in terms of doing damage. Steals away the Drake, though. And then at this moment, LIIV SANDBOX is like, oh, I want to cancel the fight. I would like to cancel my reservation on this Drake. But it's a little bit too late. And you can see, there's just, the front line is so massive for GEN.G that Ruler just does free damage the entire time. Like, you have an Olaf and a fed Renekton. How do you break through?
won that whole fight by himself.
Yep,
That was
straight
absurd.
Up.
It reminds me of his Lee Sin.
Right now, if you're ready to pull the trigger.
Yeah, flanking ward's not really there as Summit puts down the mist. GEN.G trying to get in there, but it looks like it is just going to be GEN.G locking down this turret. They get the stopwatch out of Summit as well, who's now just going to get popped. Rascal dives on top of him and says thank you very much for that one. Croco taking a lot of damage there from the piercing arrow, and GEN.G are not done yet. They're going to take down this inhibitor turret. The inhibitor will be taken as well.
They might look to, I mean, if anybody tries to defend this and they die, like, that could be game winning here, even though we're only 25 minutes in.
Well, that's a big flash in from Effort, but hits a minion with the hook. And these piercing arrows on the fallback. Feels like LIIV SANDBOX have kind of, the use-by date is a problem, as there's the ulti from Prince.
It's not enough
to get him out of the Shockwave. It's going to be all right. However, that is a lot of buttons now unavailable. And this inhibitor turret's also dead. Inhibitor to follow as well in the mid lane. And there's an outer turret top lane. That is so much, even more money to be thrown over to GEN.G.
It's massive here for them. And LIIV SANDBOX can't win a 5v5 team fight right now. And GEN.G are just trying to choke them out of the game. Oh, this is optimistic.
Yeah, this is a bit scary as immediately Effort is going to pop, but are they actually able to get this fight working out as Croco diving on forward gets a lot of value as Rascal might fall down, but Fate's going to get flashed on by GEN.G. It's a triple kill for BDD, but can Prince do better than that is the question, as he's got the vision. BDD's super dead. As I don't know whether he has the rend. He doesn't quite just yet. There it is. Comes through for the double on the spot. That's an ace. And LIIV SANDBOX undone yet.
Oh, what a massive play here at the end of the day. You, in these awkward situations, that's a fight without doing anything to anyone. And so, yeah, this is a really nice moment here for GEN.G. It looks like, okay, we just win this fight and we win the game. Okay, they're actually soloing the Baron too for a moment. But look at Rascal here in this moment where he goes on to bait, and then Prince locks him up here with the root coming down, and he just dies. And that's the end of any sort of front line. You can't get on top of Prince after this. And everybody's taken so much turret damage with no minions here. And the Prince is like, I'm Callista versus an Olaf that can't close the gap on me. And BDD, look at the amount of spears that BDD is wearing.
Yeah. Oh, man. And now they managed to get themselves the Baron. So we've turned it all around. LIIV SANDBOX on the back of their extraordinarily fed Callista, who is...
Gen.G really want to force this. Instead of trading and just going back to the Baron, they want to make this fight theirs. They want to end this game right now. This fight will likely decide the game. Oh, look at Kroko's flank angle here. This could be massive.
Yeah, you can see Prince looking for that Rend for the secure as now Rascal goes golden. GEN.G taking a lot of damage here as well as Rascal has to flash. Chains of Corruption into the backline as the Drake is going to be taken here by LIIV SANDBOX. But can they actually win the fight is the question. Summit going down extraordinarily low, and the Zinzal's also dead. BDD with a double kill for now as Prince.
1v9 Prince.
Yeah, Fate realm warps himself to relative safety, and now we're looking to potentially base race or something.
Yeah, that's the idea here. I think Gen.G are going to win that race, though. They have the massive numbers advantage, and that's going to be a retreat here from LIIV SANDBOX. I think LIIV SANDBOX were hoping that Gen.G rushed to Baron here instead, and they think that, you know, it's going to be defending coming back. Ooh, I don't know about this.
I think taking double inhibitor and then taking the Baron is the safe play, but Gen.G reading the death timers are thinking that they might be able to get this one done. Prince is very, very strong, but is he strong enough is the question. As now Rascal underneath Nexus turrets does have to contend with this mega fed Callista who goes down to the GA. Now Effort coming on in here is, okay, Prince just gonna get popped. The shockwave timing, absolutely beautiful. As Kroko, it's his turn to celebrate by going directly back to the death chamber. That was a roller coaster, but in the end, Gen.G managed to pull through.
Gen.G, it feels like it works against a lot of different, you know, kind of low-range melee comps extremely well, and LIIV SANDBOX's comp has some aspects like that, but it also has the poke that Rumble is going to bring in with...
Comes back, but Summit with his teleport will just be able to get a reset here as LIIV moves on over. Kroko is just going to be able to secure this, but he's going to get stunned up. Ruler comes on around. That's a great knock-up in from Effort as he's battle dancing around. Flash out from Kroko. The Flame Spitter doing so much work as LIIV fails the flash, unfortunately. And Ruler's going to have to flash over the wall as well. Is he actually going to be safe, though, is the question. And the answer is no. Stabbed in the back by Summit.
And to add insult to injury, BDD tried to save the day by teleport flanking. Waste's teleport is nowhere to be seen. And steal this red away.
That's going to be a knock-up as Effort does find Rascal, but not enough follow-up here as Prince rotating over. He's spotted by 4 people. That's the flash. Emperor's Divide is immediately followed. And Prince is like, why are there 5 people here in my jungle?
And is he going to get away?
What the heck?
No way!
Just completely trolled. Oh no, the minion pathing, the Brambleback saves his life.
Oh my god, and he gets away. This is worst
Super Mega
case.
Death Rocket will just barely miss.
I mean, this could not be worse.
Oh, Gen.G, I'm so sorry.
This is so rough for Gen.G because now they've given up an objective for free. Yeah, Ruler gets a plate here. Looks like he's going to get a second one. Well, might not actually quite at this rotation, but we'll get the second one eventually.
Rascal gets stunned up a little bit and then stabbed multiple times.
This time Summit actually took Flash too. It was a change from last time he played this because last time he didn't have to deal with a Trundle. Rascal.
Yeah, as that's the kickback underneath the turret. Flash out as well. Kroko's here. That's the equalizer down as Summit is just going to grab that kill. Desperation from the Lee Sin, unfortunately.
I really like the idea of it. He's trying to have the mechanical outplay. He knows he has his flash available. Summit's in range of the turret with no minion wave there. So the idea is really cool.
If Kroko's not there, then Summit's dead, I think.
Exactly. But unfortunately, he was there, and that's a risky...
Well, most likely, as Kroko gets up here, it's no cannon. But I don't think it really matters as the Harpoon not going to connect, but the Realm Warp's going to come in just to confirm the death on the rise. Efforts, of course, here as well. And now LIIV SANDBOX with 4 members will be able to take down this outer turret. They'll sacrifice a Drake for it, but I don't think they're too worried.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not with a solo Ocean Drake here. They're going to be happy to let that one go for the value they're going to get here because remember, in the previous patch, you'd be like, whatever, second charge on this top turret here doesn't matter. But actually on, you know, because I don't have any money either.
Yeah, it's a rough time to be the Trundle. Does at least have his Mythic online, but Now BDD could be in trouble. Rift Herald is going to be spawned as arrows starting to fly across as GEN.G going to get spotted. Effort dives on in. Equalizer goes down. Pop goes the Azir. And the turret follows suit. It's 40 seconds until the Dragon. And BDD is going to be up 10 seconds before that. Does have the teleport available, so I guess they can potentially fight for it. But still, it's another charge to come through from Shirley, and this lead is only extending over and over again for LIIV SANDBOX.
I mean, you got
is Summit.
Looks like they just want to realm
Are we giving out another one? Yeah, we're realm warping onto the Baron. That is going to be the plan here as Summit doesn't quite get on the train in time, unfortunately. And this is going to go down extraordinarily quickly. Rascal is not a jungle Lee Sin.
Nope.
So that is Soul Point going over to GEN.G in trade for the Baron. And if it was Infernal Soul, I might be like, this is worth it for GEN.G. But because it's only Soul Point, not quite as much, as it's 8,000 gold now the lead, plus there's a Baron.
It's not worth it.
Throws that one down first. The Chains of Corruption come in. That's a great grand entrance to come through from Effort as life goes golden. Might have been a little bit of a waste there as the back out was immediate from LIIV SANDBOX. Good zap lands onto Prince, but the follow-up's not quite there as now Rascal has turned up. Low health bars sort of everywhere as that is Prince getting hit by the Q. He has to immediately vacate the area as now Ruler's going to get dove on by Summit, who has to Heartbreaker his way out. Croco, half the cooldown of this equalizer is now there is Prince! Just kills Ruler in the darkness of the brush.
Just gets lucky, and sometimes that's how it works.
Yeah, that's going to be enough as he lands another piercing arrow. The kick comes through, and Rascal will be able to take down the Varus, but not before he's done all that he needs to. Summit's going to get all of the resets that he wants. A nice three-man ultimate from BDD, but he goes straight to the Death Chamber afterwards, and Rascal is the last man standing. This Drake will be claimed by LIIV SANDBOX, and the Baron's up in 17 seconds.
Yeah, the Baron's going to be theirs too. I don't think you go for the steal here as Rascal. He's not even going to try it. They take it out. Oh, hold that thought. They're going to look for this.
Yeah,
Rascal.
That's going to be Effort taken down. It should be the Baron, secured by LIIV SANDBOX. As Rascal, trying to be the hero, lands on top of Fate, but he has his Zhonya's. And that means that the Lee Sin's unable to lock him down, but Rascal was almost the hero there.
That would have been insane. He had stopwatch, I believe, going into that too, so that's part of why he goes for this. That they're looking for here. If they can survive this push, there's a real chance.
Yep, and oh, okay, Azir is extremely dead, and so is the Trundle. Summit's going to dive in underneath this one. Ruler is looked at by someone, and he's dead. The Viego's going to pick that one up. Here are the resets, and the game is just all of a sudden over, ladies and gentlemen. GEN.G, it was so strange because they held on for so long without even getting a kill whilst being 10,000 gold behind. But now it is well and truly too much for them to handle.
Too much. They're going to go down here. Life trying his best to buy time. Not going to be successful, I'm afraid.
Nope, they pile in on top. Croco just being an absolute beast and is going to help take this one down. The Nexus is also going to fall as LIIV SANDBOX will upset our first place team in the LCK, promote